Hello and welcome to the Glesgada podcast, sponsored by Dragon Soup. Coming up this week.
Pretentious restaurants, pretentious hotels, don't even give them the satisfaction. Fucking get yourself in a travel lodge with a foot-long subway, right? Do you remember these snakes? You got your grannies at the front of the door. Then when you came in, hold on, I'll put the snake down to stop a draft coming in. Every granny's who's had one of these snakes. A top hotel in East Kilbride. My ass! The best hotel in East Kilbride is Herr Myers Hospital.
But before then, we're talking about everything. The top 5 hotels in Scotland.
The top 5 hotels in Scotland? What, Premier Inn, Travelodge? What else is there?
Oh, you must have a favourite.
A favourite hotel?
Aye.
When do you ever stay in a hotel?
You're never away.
What are you talking about?
You're never away from hotels.
Who's never away from hotels?
You, dinner.
Maybe begging outside them. A hotel. The top 5 hotels in Scotland. For a start, I can't afford to stay in the top hotels. The
Aye.
top. So what's the top hotel? Glen Eagles or something?
No, I'd say
Glen Eagles. So Rod Stewart stayed at the Glen Eagles Hotel, and at the end of his stay, he left a 10 grand tip. A 10 grand tip. That's just putting pressure on poor people like myself to tip. See, I'm a A-list celebrity like Rod the Mod, right? But I'm not giving you a 10 grand tip. You can fuck right off.
I'd give Rod Stewart 10 grand to stop singing.
Rod Stewart's a man. But he's one of these guys, he's been rich for so long, he just thinks the whole world, everybody's rich in the world.
So you think Glen Eagle's the top hotel?
Well, I don't know. What is this on the internet? You can find this out, but it's good to be up there with the top hotels. And then you've got that place Madonna get married. Do you remember she married that film director, Guy Ritchie? They get married in a place called Skibo Castle, which is away up north. But I'll tell you something. I remember doing a gig in Edinburgh, a Christmas gig in Edinburgh, and there was people in for a posh hotel. I can't mind what hotel it was. I think it was Dalhousie Castle or something. Or I don't know even know if that's a posh hotel. But people who work in posh hotels, I find they're kind of sycophantic people. I went on stage and they're sitting in front of me and I goes, hello, how you doing? And they were looking down their nose at me as if to say, who are you? Who are you? I've mopped up Nick Nolte's book. Who are you? You know what I mean? See, they're used to serving the rich and famous. So if you're not quite famous enough, they look down your nose at you. Anyway, I don't know if that's a top hotel, but Dalhousie Castle, I'm sure that's where they were fae. If they weren't fae, maybe it was somewhere else.
Do you not get that just getting on the bus though?
I don't know. I don't use the bus, but I came in this morning on the train because you never picked me up.
I've got
Because you went, yeah, I've got a meeting. I'm meeting. Anyway, he never stays in a top hotel. He stays in Airbnbs, you know, the ones with cameras in them. So there's somewhere on TikTok with him having a chug doing Elvis impressions in the bed in somebody's Airbnb that he's booked because it's cheap for £14 a night in the bedroom of some sex offender. Anyway, be careful out there.
It's not cheap because they've got the cleaning fees.
Especially the guy's got to fold your bedsheet with a mallet after you've stayed there.
So you never stayed in an Airbnb?
I don't know. I don't know. I might have done. How do you know you're in an Airbnb?
Because you got to book it through Airbnb website.
Well, I don't book any of my accommodation. I've got people that do that. And I'm one of these guys. Do you know what? I don't even book tables. I think that's bullshit. I just rock up. If I want to eat, right, I just rock up. I go into the place and I go, can I get a table? And the guy says, well, this is Domino's Pizza. We don't have any tables. Anyway, I don't book, right? I walk up to a restaurant and I go, can you fit us in? And they'll go, no, the place is fucking empty. It's empty. Because you know I eat out on a Tuesday and a Wednesday night. Because I'm famous. Because I'm busy at weekends when normal people go to restaurants. Right? And you rock up to the restaurant, there's nobody in it. Nobody's there. And I go, can you fit us in? I want to eat right now. And the guy goes, let me see if we've anything. There's nobody in this fucking place. Not a fucking soul. Right? Is this the Invisible Men's night out? Right? Let me see if I can... Look, mate, I'll fucking sit there or there and... stick your restaurant up your farter, you ball bag. Anyway.
Well, don't be rocking up to Blackfriars because we've sold out in October. So
Well, that's different. That's a show. that's something that's in high demand. I mean, just because you turn up 10 minutes before and there's nobody in, it's because we haven't opened the doors yet. That's not the same thing. But I remember I was gigging in Liverpool and there was this Argentinian meat restaurant, right? So they've obviously got fucking gauchos out catching coos in the pampas, right? Fucking bollocks, right? And I went in and I went, can you fit us in? There's nobody in here. I'm sorry, we're fully booked. What the fuck are you talking about? There's nobody in. But you know what? They looked at me. This is the thing. Pretentious restaurants, pretentious hotels, don't even give them the satisfaction. Fucking get yourself in a travel lodge with a foot-long subway, right? You walk up, you're asking, can you fit us in? You're giving them permission to treat you like a fucking pauper. Stick it up your farter. He says, we're full of it. There's nobody in this place. But they obviously looked at me and went, we don't like him. Get it up you. I was really fat then. I've got to be honest. Maybe they says, I'm sorry, well, we can't accommodate you, sir. We're a bit afraid you might die a heart attack on the premises. So I don't know what happened. And it's not there now, because I was there in Liverpool last summer and I was looking for it. So it's shut down. They weren't letting anybody in.
My top hotel, I would say, is the Balmoral in Edinburgh.
When did you ever stay in the Balmoral?
I've stayed in it twice.
Aye, so you did. We took them knowing what you talking about. You sneaking in. What do you mean you stayed? What were you doing staying in the Balmoral? You never fucking paid for it.
I never paid the second time. I paid the first time and then complained and got a free pay the second time.
You're a wanker. You complained. What did you complain about? Right, first of all, how much is it a night to stay in there? I saw during the Fringe it was £1,400 a night.
It wasn't that. It was maybe about 350 when I stayed there.
350. So you're sleeping in a boat in some arsehole's wardrobe.
This was about 15 years ago I stayed in it.
When 350 was 350.
The windy wouldn't shut and it was cold.
The windy wouldn't shut. £300 a night and the windy doesn't shut. You could have stayed in my house for 10 fucking bob.
But I've stayed there for the last 35 years.
I know, and you never even paid me, you wanker.
So here, I would say Balmoral's probably the top hotel, but then again...
Wait a minute, what did you complain about?
The window wouldn't shut. And it was freezing at night.
Did you not go under the covers?
Aye, but it's Baltic.
Aye, but what?
It was Baltic. You don't pay £350 a night for a hotel in the window, doesn't it?
So while you were in the room sleeping, did you not go, could you fix this window, mate?
So I phoned them up and said, the window's no closing. They sent somebody out. And they said it's clearly jammed, but we're sold out. We don't have another room to
Well,
give
tell him to go out and buy one of the big snakes your granny used to make. Get one of the woolly snakes and fucking pop it in front of the gap in the window. Hey, £350 a night. They should have a cupboard full of these snakes. You know what I mean? Do you remember these snakes? You got your granny's at the front of the door. Then when you came in, hold on, I'll put the snake down to stop the draft coming in. Every granny's house had one of these snakes.
Aye, it's one of them under the covers that night.
One of the covers. I think that was Wally the Worm. Right, that wasn't a snake. That was a wee bit. That was Sammy the Snail. Right, Sammy the Slug. Oh, it might have been a snail. He might have a water on the back of it. Right, fucking a snake in the bed. Right. So 350 and they gave you a free room?
So we complained and then about maybe 6 months later they gave us a free room, but it was one facing the castle. It was a belter. We got our breakfast and everything.
Right, so 350, that's a lot of dough.
At the time, aye.
That's a lot of dough, man.
And then I would say...
See, Connery used to stay there.
Aye.
When Sean Connery, right, Bond, James Bond, when he came out for the Bahamas... when he came out for the Bahamas, he'd come to visit Edinburgh, all his old mates, and go, oh, look at you lot, you're still poor. I'm a millionaire now, get it up you. I'm up the Balmoral. Hey, Tom, come down to Leaf and get pissed. No, I'll be up the Balmoral. Right, and he used to stay there. Him and his missus.
Used to come back to support Scottish independence and fly back to America.
Fly back to the Bahamas. He lived in the Bahamas. Him and Richard Harris... Also, you know, the actor, he lived in the Bahamas and then he gave his house up, gave it back to the Bahamas Housing Association or something. And then he lived, Richard Harris lived in the Savoy Hotel in London for the last years of his life. I mean, how much money have these guys got? He lived in a suite at the Savoy Hotel.
My cousin was a chef in the Savoy Hotel.
Was he?
Savoy Grill.
Right, very good.
Aye. So that's probably the best hotel in Edinburgh. Do you agree? At Balmoral?
I wouldn't know. I've not stayed in every hotel in Edinburgh, but I agree that that's well, it's where it is, isn't it? It's the front and centre, right on Princes Street, above the station. Yeah, and it looks nice. I had breakfast in it once because I'd done a corporate gig, and the person who ran the gig had a room in there, paid for by Skoda, incidentally. You know, Skoda car company. Right, and
They wonder, maybe that's why my fucking windy didn't shut, because it was sponsored by Skoda.
might have been. And I had breakfast in. Now, this was about 20 years ago. And I says, this great breakfast. And they said, and this is 20 years ago, and they says, yeah, if you had to pay for that, it would be $17.50. $17.50 20 years ago for a fucking sausage and egg. Right, and it was very nice.
Ah, you get a bit of haggis on as well.
Oh, I think it had everything. It was pretentious breed toasted and everything. It was mad. I'm slammering now thinking back of that.
So the one hotel in Glasgow that's a bit people don't really know about, but it's probably the top one for celebrities, is One Devonshire Gardens.
Well, it's now called the Hotel du Van.
Oh, is it?
Yes. It's at One Devonshire Gardens, but it's now called the Hotel du Van. And there's an Hotel du Van in Edinburgh, just up at,
That's
you know,
right.
the fork in the road.
Aye.
At the King George IV Bridge. So I've been in the one in Edinburgh doing a corporate, and in fact it was a guy's wedding. And what happened was, I says, so, and it was a very posh private dining room, maybe about 14, 16 people. Now the guy and two of his guests knew me because I'd used to work with him, but his mother and all that was there. And he says, do you want to do a turn for my birthday? It's his birthday, right? Aye. And I says, right, what I'll do, I'll come in. I was wearing a suit and all that, and I'll kid on I'm the hotel manager, but I'm pissed out my nut, right? And we'll see what happens. So I kind of came in and I went, is everything okay? What's happening? I've heard, and I was just stoating about pissed, and his mother was fucking raging. She thought I was the hotel manager, and it was very amusing.
Like these weddings you go to and they burst into song, the chef bursts out the kitchen and all that shit. Have you seen them?
Well, I heard, I've never been to that sort of wedding, but that's fucking cringing, man, right? I've my best friend and his man, they went to a wedding in America, and it was two people who were in Broadway shows, and they got married, and so the whole wedding guests were all fucking Broadway chorus line people. And they says, and part of the wedding ceremony was them all singing show tunes. And he said it was fucking cringing, man. Didn't know where to look. You were going, press a button now, these bastards need to die. Anyway, I wasn't there. But he said it, and by the way, he likes a show tune, right? And he said it was fucking cringing. You wanted the grunt to swallow you up.
Are you sure they were for Broadway and you just never misunderstood when they said they were for Hamilton? Is that what you mean?
That was shite. Time for a break.
And we'll be back with a clip from one of our live shows, but here's a word from our sponsors. This podcast is sponsored and supported by Dragon Soup. Now, you can get this in around 13 flavours, and
Right.
you can get it in most Glasgow convenience stores and pubs and nightclubs in the town as well.
Well, how convenient. It's a caffeinated alcoholic beverage, and I've got a peach and raspberry flavour here.
Now, thanks to Dragon Soup, because without their support, we couldn't put this content out, so thank you.
And remember, people, please drink responsibly.
I bought a suit for doing corporate gigs,
Aye.
and I would only use that suit when I was there. And they say,
If you only use that suit for gigs, then yes, it's tax allowable. But if you even wear it to a gangbang or something. That's it.
Well,
It's not covered.
obviously, I set up a limited company in my second year. They sent a tax inspector out, and because I worked from home, he came to my house and he said all this, and I went, the suit, it was for corporates, I was hosting corporates, and my wife said, I in my brother's wedding.
Fuck. Aye, that's fucked.
Now remember, you can see us live in Glasgow at Blackfriars in December, and we're doing 2 shows.
December of what?
The first.
1st of December. 1st of December. Put that in your diary, people, before you spunk away all your money for Christmas. Come and see us in Blackfriars. 1st of December. 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, aye.
There you go.
And remember, it's glasgowdad.com for tickets.
And we'll have a special guest.
Yes,
We'll have a special guest. I wonder who it might be. Ooh. Aye. The celebrities in Glasgow are going, I hope they don't phone me.
We don't provide a hotel either.
Anyway.
Right.
Moving swiftly along.
Well, that was meant to be the sort of segment, but that was a segment.
Was that a link?
That was meant to be a link.
Very skillfully done, son. Very skillfully done. So that's the best hotel you've stayed in.
Yes, so I would say
I thought you went up the Shard.
I did, but that's no Scotland. We're doing
We're doing the top 5 hotels in Scotland.
You need
Right.
to get that ear syringe today.
So we've got the Hotel Duvan.
Yes.
We talked about Glen Eagles and we talked about the Balmoral.
Yes.
Right.
You ever been to Fobo Castle?
Stobo Castle?
No, sorry, Fonab
Fonab?
in Perth.
What's that? Never heard of it. Fonab?
Aye, it's a
What, the sign break?
No.
They've got letters missing after their name. Fonab.
Fonab Castle.
Fonab.
Aye.
Spell that.
Fonob.
Phonob.
It might be Fonab.
Fonab.
Fonab Castle.
Get the fuck.
You never heard of that?
Fucking, that's not even a word. You've made that up.
I've not made it
You're
up.
back in the glue, man. Behave yourself.
Check it in the comments. It definitely
Fonab
exists.
Castle.
Aye.
That's a hotel.
Yep.
Right, have you been there?
Yes. Twice.
Right, what were you doing up there?
It was,
Rustling sheep?
I was there for it was a wine tasting event.
Oh, fucking wine tasting event. Listen, I've been at wine tasting events lying on the steps of the Radisson. Right? But that Fonab Castle. What's Fonab?
Aye. So what happened was...
Is that a Gaelic word?
I don't know. So it was a wine tasting event, right?
Right.
And it wasn't well attended. There was only...
I'm not fucking surprised. Take me to Fonab Castle. He's pissed. Right, what castle? I'll take you to Stirling. Hey, come on.
So there was only like 5 people turned up, and the wine dealer just basically like, let's just get steaming.
Let's just fire in.
Aye.
Fuck, you should have took me, man.
I know. And there was
Right, did they have any al fresco wines? Like Bucky and all that?
No, it was all Australian wine.
Australian wine?
Aye.
Right.
But everybody just gets steaming.
So this is a hotel?
Aye, it's a hotel.
Fonab Castle?
Fonab Castle, near Perth.
Never heard it. Never, ever, ever heard it. No wonder it's not very well attended. It's A, unpronounceable, and B, a secret place.
Oh, there's one in East Kilbride actually that's not even been mentioned.
East Kilbride. You're telling me the top 5 hotels in Scotland and one of them's in East Kilbride? Fuck off.
It's Cross Basket Hotel.
Oh, fuck off. A fucking top hotel in East Kilbride. And the very fact it's in East Kilbride disqualifies it for being a top hotel. Right? You drive into East Kilbride and you go, what's this place? Fucking, we're in Beirut, South Lanarkshire. I wonder if there's a top hotel here. Oh, I hope it's got Wendy's. Behave yourself. A top hotel in East Kilbride. My ass. The best hotel in East Kilbride's Herr Myers Hospital.
So what's yours then? So mine's just Fonab, one Devonshire Gardens and the Balmoral. What's your other 2?
Well, Glen Eagles and Herr Myers Hospital. I don't fucking know.
St Andrews.
St Andrews. The St Andrews Bay Hotel.
Was that the old course hotel?
Well, no. That's the... No, there's a St Andrews Bay Hotel, which was opened around about 20 odd years ago, because I met the guy who kind of was responsible for bringing it on stream. That's a nice place. And I went there for my dinner. And I'll tell you how posh it is. Right, if you're eating your soup with a roll, right, and it's really white tablecloth, silver service, not a, a real deferential waiter, not a, yes, son, A really nice guy, right? I mean, I'm just at the caves and all that, right? They were really nice. And the crumbs off my roll fell onto the table. So what you would do, you go, oh, fuck it, just get him on the flare, right? He says, no, sir, allow me. And he took a wee silver thing out his pocket and opened it. It's like a wee container. And he put the crumbs in the wee silver container and put it back in his pocket. Fuck.
Aye, that goes on your fish.
Well, I'll tell you what, waste not, want not, right? That was very impressive. And I think it was like £48 for 2 courses. I mean, that was years ago. And, well, for 2 years. Because I don't fuck about. But it is posh. St Andrews Bay Hotel's very nice. And the Travel Lodge in Aberdeen.
Oh, no.
Aye.
The one in Union Street.
No, down near the train station. You know the one, is it Market Street? Is it the Travel Lodge?
So there's one in Union Street, which is an absolute nightmare.
Well, it's on the corner of Union Street and Market Street.
Aye.
I think it is. No, because it's dead easy to park. You park down the hill in the big old car park, and then you're in the Travel Lodge. You just get a bar, a bed, a window you can shut. It's no £350 a night.
Premier Inn's better than Travel Lodge, though. The beds are far superior.
I stayed at the Premier Inn once at Heathrow Airport, and it was very nice. But it had just been built. I think I was the first arse in the bed.
Heathrow had just been built, or Premier Inn been built?
No, the Premier Inn just been built at Heathrow Airport. Right, so the Premier Inn, where's the best Premier Inn in Scotland?
Well, the hubs.
But do you know what? I'll tell you something. I stayed at a hotel, the Sombra Hotel. Do you know where Sombra is?
No.
Shetland Islands.
Right.
It's the airport you go to in the Shetland Islands. What happened is I got a gig. They doing a gig for the Shetland Football Association. Don't mention it. I died my arse. They hated me. Anyway, they put me up in the Sombra Hotel. And it's owned by a wee guy, a lovely wee fella, who's a Glaswegian. He's obviously went up there because he's grassed up the mafia or something. Right, so he's in the witness protection programme in Sombra. And he's opened up a hotel next to Sombra Airport, which is, by the way, 40 mile from Lerwick, the capital of Shetland. So, and I stayed there, and I went to bed, I'm telling you, that was the best night's sleep I have ever had. And I mean that truly. And I woke up the next day and I went, what a fucking great night's sleep. And he said, with a flourish of pride, he says, aye, that's the same beds they get in the Premier Inn. There you go.
Well, they're all the best hotel for the best mattress is a Citizen M. You ever stayed there?
And in Glasgow,
Well, they've got loads of them. Everywhere.
the best mattress, no, the Sombra Hotel in Shetland, I've slept here and it was great.
They've got Scud movies, I know.
Scud movies.
And the Citizen M.
Well, I had a live sex shows in my room in the Sombra Hotel. No, I didn't. It was just me imagining it.
Did you open the adjoining door again? So you up to that?
I don't have that sort of thing.
I had a horrible experience at the Travel Lodge Hotel in Aberdeen.
You had a horrible experience. Tell you, it was far worse for the person you come into contact with. They told me. What was your horrible
There
experience?
was two people up the stairs basically getting it on, pumping. And it went on forever. I was sure the lassie must have had like 5 different guys in there because there's no way somebody was lasting that long.
Well, you see, you've never really been out and about, right? And I don't remember if it was myself who was upstairs that night. But, I mean, if people want to get it on and you're sitting underneath judging them, you wee deviant, pulling your wee willy the worm. You know what I mean? Live and let live. If somebody wants to pump all night, then let them. Because let's face it, there's not a lot to do in Aberdeen. And it's cold. So you might as well go and pump your missus all night.
So in terms of hotels then, you've obviously got Airbnb as well. You can rent your room out through Airbnb. So you could rent your spare room out.
Fuck off. I'm not having some stranger in my house. Fuck that. I might murder you in your bed, man. Are you mental? Because I've been looking at these Airbnb things. There's like, I'm sure they're lovely people, right? But you don't know what it is. It seems to be a room in somebody's house with breakfast in the morning. I'm no staying in somebody's fucking house.
But you could charge them $17.50.
Get the fuck. Nobody's staying in my house. Fuck off, man. You weirdo. Coming in at hours of the night, stinking of glue and cocaine. Fucking 3 in the morning, falling down your stairs. You end up, you're done for £1 million public liability insurance. Get the fuck. And they'll take something to the fridge, shit themselves to death and blame you for food poisoning. Get the fuck. Fucking bams not coming in my house, man. Before you know it, and you're out there in sniffing your drawers and all that. Get the fuck. Robbing you blind. Fuck off.
One of our comedy pals has got an Airbnb and rents his room out. It's always got fucking...
Well, maybe it works for him. It fucking doesn't work for me. I would never have strangers in my house. No way, man. No fucking way. No chance. I don't care how. I would rather be a destitute. I would rather be piss poor than rent my spare rooms out. All my books are in one room and all my musical instruments in another room. That works for me.
You've got a music man room with all your guitars.
I've got a music room. Yeah, my guitars, my piano, and all that. My amplifiers, my bongos.
Do your neighbours not go mental?
My neighbour works. So, you know, she's working. So then I go, she's at work. Fucking wow thing. You make my heart sing. You make everything groovy. Down, 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 down.
Sometimes you even use a guitar.
I know. Maybe I'll bring a guitar in one day. Give a wee tune.
No.
Fucking aye. He can fucking bang a tambourine because he's a fuckwit. My cat's feeling running over. Fucking idiot.
Maybe...
Kumbaya. Fuck off.
Maybe you can get a guitar out for our Christmas party.
What Christmas party? What do you mean?
We're having a...
What Christmas? I mean, fuck having a Christmas party. You never told me.
So we're going to have a special live episode. Or we'll have a special episode and we'll invite some of our top fans along.
Is that right?
Aye.
What if they go today to get an invite?
Well, I think if the people that are commenting on our socials and stuff, we can see who our top fans are.
What, even the cheeky bastards?
Even the cheeky ones, aye.
Oh, right. Fuck, very good, right. Fair enough. And how many we're letting in?
So we'll probably have an intimate podcast
Intimate?
Aye. Maybe
we're going to shag them all. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, that would probably get views.
Have you seen our audience? Have you seen our audience? They are the very epitome of contraception. Right? Nobody's shagging anybody. Right? But, no offence, but you don't look good.
So make sure you visit glesgodad.com or click the bio link in any of our socials for all our upcoming shows. And while we're at it, we've got a show coming up in Falkirk and Glasgow. So we're at Blackfriars in Glasgow in December, and we've got a show in Falkirk. Again, visit our socials or glesgodad.com.
What date's the Falkirk show?
Falkirk is the 30th of November. So we're playing Behind the Wall in Falkirk. So you visit glesgodad.com for tickets.
Right, so that you do know. Of course you know. That is my 57th birthday.
You have to think
The
about it.
5th of November. Well, when you get as old as me, you don't know what exactly age you are.
Folk are sitting like, he's 57.
57? I thought it was 67. No, that's my birthday. So come along to Falkirk on my birthday. I might bring the guitar. Play you a wee tune.
That's a conversation we have on a regular basis when folk tell us their age. On the way home, we'll be like, fuck me, I thought he was older than that. We're always talking about folk that tell us our
Oh,
birthday.
that's the thing. I've always looked older than I am. So I was coming up for 21. I remember this girl was asking how she got from fucking somewhere to somewhere else. And because I lived in Glasgow and she was from somewhere else, fucking, I don't know, Oban or some fucking thing. She says, how would I get from here to there and that? And I knew all the bus routes and all that. So I says, you need to get a number here and a number and then get off there and get another bus. And she said, later on, she went, what age are you? And I says, I'm just coming up for 21. She says, I thought you were like 37 or something because you knew all the bus routes. Fucking like ex-inspector, oh, all of you. Hey, thinking I'm Blakey off on the buses or something. Hey, all of you. Hey, fucking, I'm only 21. But I've always looked old, but you know that. I've always looked really old. And that's bedevilled me. But what's interesting, I meet people who I've known for 30 years, goes, you've never fucking aged. Because I've always looked the same. I've never aged. The hair's got a bit greyer. And a few more lines on the fucking, that's you've gave me name. Right, but I've never aged.
Never aged.
No, and significantly, you know. But that's what happens when you do what you love. When you do something you love, it's a holiday. My work is my life.
So it's nearly checkout time, but before then, here's what you decided was the best clip from last week.
What's his name? Jim Bowen.
Aye. Who
get cancelled for being a big racist, right? Fair enough. But now the early shows of Bullseye were brilliant because Jim Bowen would rip the arse out the contestants and it was funny. So there's the big prize board, Bully's big prize board. So out of the black and into the red, nothing for this game, we're throwing a bed. Right. So you would hit the red and you went, ooh, you've won a fondue. And I went, ooh, you've won a camcorder. Ooh, you've won a bale of towels. Right, there's always shite prizes. Right, and so if you had a red, you won a prize. If you were in the black, you won fuck all. And he was saying, so you're in the black, says, oh, you've won a crisp packet. Right. Oh, you've won a villa in Vietnam. It was a time in Vietnam, the Vietnam War no long finished. And then you'd hit the black again. Oh, you've just lost your villa in Vietnam.
And thanks again to Dragon Soup for sponsoring this episode. We'll be back next week. And as always, if you enjoyed the show, please tell your friends. But if you didn't,
fuck off.